to episode number 20 of the Music PRODcast. This week, our friend Luke Zuwala is joining us.
What's up, y'all?
Songwriter, lead singer of the band Skyscraper.
Got it.
As it is your nickname and very fitting
Yeah.
for your height.
That's what everyone says when they meet me, so they're like, I get it now.
And as always, joining me, my co-host Owen Viragos.
What's going on, everyone?
And I'm your host, Kacey McLachlin. And this show,
Clap for Kai.
Kind of
The McLachlin.
Oh,
we're going over some news.
Today, buddy.
Yeah. And then
That's how I roll.
talking about Kacey Musgraves this episode.
Yeah, biscuits.
Yep.
Biscuits.
She has a new album coming out on the 30th of March. So we're going to be taking a look at a couple singles.
What's the album called again?
Golden Hours.
Golden Hours, that's right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a
But-
clever name.
Before we get to that, I should also mention that we have a very good country-themed game again.
Oh, perfect.
So-
Owen's going to be pulling his hair out. before the end of the day.
Oh no,
Well,
these ones are hard.
yeah.
Is it you?
You
making
beat me
it-
last time, though. Like the country
think you
theme, and you
did,
beat
yeah.
me last
Did
time.
I win that one?
Yeah, you did.
Wow.
We were tied for a while, and then you beat me with the last question.
Was it song titles?
Yeah.
No, it was sayings that Kai had come up with, or were sayings.
country title or saying.
Or nonsense, yeah.
or nonsense, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yep. Okay,
All
let's
right.
jump into some news. I have an article talking about the top 10 best-selling artists of 2017.
Okay.
Do you guys want to guess
Yeah.
just name some names that you think would be on that list?
Drake.
Yep, that's a good guess.
For me,
Drake,
it's the first
Taylor
most popular.
Swift,
Yep, another good guess.
Yeah, that's a solid one.
Ed
You have-
Sheeran.
Yep, there you go. That was your number one.
Ed Sheeran was number. Wow, good for him.
Yep.
Kendrick Lamar
Yep, he was on there.
definitely seems like someone who would. Coldplay?
Nope.
Not this year, eh?
No
Oh,
Coldplay.
Interesting. What's up, kitty?
Number 5 was Eminem.
Really?
Whoa, where did that come
2017?
from,
Yeah.
eh?
He did have an album last year, but I didn't.
Randy
for some
Orton,
reason-
out of nowhere.
And so I'll just go from top to bottom.
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
Number 1, Ed Sheeran, of course. 2, Drake, also of course. 3, Taylor Swift.
T-Swizzle.
You would say, of course, but her album only came out in November, which is still pretty impressive that she's number 3 on that
That's,
list.
wow, no kidding. And when you put that into that context, she had singles that came out a little bit before
Yeah,
that,
that's
though,
true.
so that kind of counts towards that. Anyways, keep going. Sorry.
Number 4, Kendrick Lamar. Number 5, Eminem. 6, Bruno Mars. 7, The Weeknd. 8, Imagine Dragons. Number 9,
Really?
even more surprising than Imagine Dragons, is Linkin Park.
How did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
cool.
if they've released music this
Posthumously
year.
or something, yeah.
Yeah.
After Chester.
Maybe a best.
Sorry, that was
Actually, that makes sense.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe a best of.
It was like what happened when Michael Jackson. This is an interjection. I'm trying to interrupt. But like the one happened when Michael Jackson, when he died, it was like all of a sudden there was a huge surge in the sales of his albums. Right? People were like,
yeah.
"Oh, he's dead now. I want to buy his stuff."
That's kind of a touchy subject too. Like I remember Whitney Houston when she died, iTunes bumped all the prices of her albums.
Because they knew
yeah.
that people were going to buy them, right? Yeah,
Like,
I know.
that's I don't know. That's so.
It's a little bit of dirty pool, but
Yeah.
they're running a business. So, anyways, and
And-
who's number 10?
The Chainsmokers, which makes
See,
sense.
I'm more surprised by Imagine Dragons than anyone, I think. Oh, no, Linkin Park really blew that one. I mean, when you put contextually, I said that so country. Contextually. when you consider contextually sort of the gravity of the situation, I guess it makes sense, but still, it's like kind of more Randy Orton than Eminem even. And Imagine Dragons, that one totally kind of surprises me. There's no context for it. I just don't know how they're there. Personally, I don't know. Owen, your thoughts?
As far as alternative mainstream rock, I guess Imagine Dragons would be the leader. So I guess it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, did they have a project last year? And I don't remember any huge singles or anything like that.
I think they released one over the summer,
They did.
sort of
That's
right
true.
in the middle. I think it was called Believe or Believer.
It was something like that.
Their
Oh,
single was
yeah.
definitely called Believer, which is probably their biggest song. of
Yeah,
last
actually,
year.
Is that
remember
the
that one.
first things first? Is that
Yeah,
that song?
yeah.
Yeah, okay, I thought so, yeah.
So some stats about Ed Sheeran and his sales. Divide, the album that was released
So
in
good.
January, I think, of last year,
Yep.
went multi-platinum in 36 countries.
Wow.
And Shape of You went multi-platinum in 32 countries.
So the album outsold the single. Whoa.
So, do you guys know what gold and platinum means when it comes to records?
Well,
Gold is $1 million, right?
Gold is
500,000.
Yes.
Platinum is $1 million.
Platinum's $1 million.
yes.
And then diamond is 10 million.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I didn't know
Yep.
that even existed.
Well, it kind of has been a recent thing. Like, I remember when Florida Georgia Line, when Cruise, it did 10 million downloads.
Yep.
And so it was the diamond single. And it's not, I don't think they used to dub it that, but I think it's like somewhere within the last like 20 years that people started to refer to something that sells 10 million. You know, it moves 10 million units as a diamond.
Because when things were in physical copies, that was pretty much impossible almost.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, Back in Black sold 30 million copies,
Yep.
right? Or 40
Yep.
million, whatever the hell it is. And Michael Jackson's albums, some of them sold like, you know, multiple millions, right? And Madonna, those kind of artists. So it wasn't unheard of, but still, it's pretty elite air that you're in when you're doing
Yeah.
anything kind of that magnitude.
Yep. Yep. And actually, no one was counting streams as sales until the beginning of 2016.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
when
wow.
it started. Like, I brought up an article about it, and it says, in the new structure, 150 streams of a song equals one paid download. So 150 streams equals
One paid download.
One sale, yeah.
So that's the number ratio that they use then. That's the kind of the, okay.
And 10 paid downloads equates to an album download.
Okay.
So a song would have to be streamed, or an artist would have to be streamed 1,500 times to get
An album's worth of sales.
yeah.
Okay.
That's what they say it's equal to.
So that'll be the way then that explains sort of the number breakdown that they'll use when they're doing sales forecasts and pitches with artists now when they're talking about just downloads and streaming and stuff like that. So they can still, you know, X amount of numbers equals dollars and all that kind of thing. So that makes sense. Cool. Good to know.
Yeah, I remember
150.
that was added like overnight, and then like all of a sudden, like I started seeing all these posts of like my album just went platinum and stuff
Yeah.
because now streaming was finally included.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's good.
Cool. We've all talked multiple times in class about, you know, thoughts on streaming, but at this point you kind of have to respect it as a medium, right? People just use it all the time. It's a viable means of promoting your music.
And speaking of streaming, Drake has recently beat Taylor Swift on one of the most prestigious streaming like records. Can you guess? Do either of you know what that record was?
First week.
It's close. That's close. It was single day streams on Spotify.
Single day, okay.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
new
yeah,
song "God's Plan" received the most ever streams in one single day.
Really?
A quote came out, "We can confirm God's Plan by Drake now holds the U.S. record as the most streamed track in a single day on Spotify." A Spotify rep tells Pitchfork the song has overtaken the previous record holder, Taylor Swift, with "Look What You Made Me Do."
It was that song that she
Yeah.
had. Wow.
Yeah.
See, I think I remember reading something about that not that long ago because God's Plan isn't that old. It's only recently come out.
Yep.
I didn't look into it all that much, and obviously it didn't register because I didn't know that as a fact. But that's, I guess, not surprising in a way, but also kind of. I think what's more surprising is the fact that it was that song by Taylor Swift. But
I think they're gonna keep outdoing each other like that too. You know,
Yeah.
like it'll just Taylor Swift song will do that again. Like with the rising number of users that use streaming and stuff like that, it'll just keep on. They'll keep outdoing. Then Adele will come out with a song, and then that
Beyonce,
Yeah, like so.
Yeah.
That's cool for Drake to get that back. Yeah.
Do you guys want to guess how many streams he got
in one day.
in one day?
Isn't it like 1.5 billion?
A little bit lower than that.
That's
That's a bit.
1.5, not billion. Sorry,
Million?
million.
That's closer. Luke,
I'm gonna say 7 million.
7 million. You both sort of split the difference. On January 22nd of this year, he received 4,326,679.
In
Wow.
one day.
It's
So
right in the
when
middle.
you break that down, how many is that per second? Like that's crazy,
Let me just check.
right? Because there's 86,200 seconds in a day.
How many? 86,000?
86,200,
Okay.
right?
That's interesting. I didn't know.
Well, yeah,
Wait,
because like, so if you do, because it's 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute. So I'm pretty sure it's 86,200.
And the total is 50
50 streams per
50
second.
streams a second.
That's crazy.
on January 22nd.
Congratulations, Drake. And Taylor Swift as well. That's a lot of numbers.
And Owen, you
What
also
was
had
her
some-
previous? What was
sorry,
hers? Taylor Swift's previous?
I can look that up quick.
Yeah, let's have it. That's an interesting number to know as well.
Yeah, speaking about like Spotify and stuff, I guess yesterday they filed for a initial public offering on the New York Stock Exchange. So I guess
Spotify did.
Spotify did. So I guess they had like a huge loss last year, although their revenue earned 38% more than the previous year. They earned $4.9 billion last year. Their losses were over $9.76 billion.
Woo.
And this is included with the recent $1.6 billion lawsuit for using over 1,000 songs without licenses. So far shares have traded as high as $132.50 on private markets. So the company is valued right now at over $23 billion. Do you think it's like a safe investment?
Spotify?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I definitely do.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. And I think because of the fact that it's like Facebook or YouTube, it's such the flagship sort of program for that sort of a thing.
For sure.
That, yeah, personally, I think it's a fairly safe investment. The market fluctuates, and like you just said about lawsuits and all that kind of stuff, I mean, that's going to happen a little bit. But I think, personally, I think I would invest in it if I had some money for it. I think it's a safe investment.
Yeah, they're definitely the leader right now. They have 71 million paying subscribers. And Apple Music, who's second, has 36 million subscribers. So, not going back.
This kitty's got, she wants in on the conversation.
I'm just worried she's going to unplug something and we gotta restart.
Yeah. What do you think, Kai? Would you invest? Do you think it's a safe investment?
Stop it, girl. Hey.
Yeah, I think streaming's only getting more and more popular.
Yeah. That's
So-
kind of my thoughts as well.
Yep. I've been looking for the stat,
Taylor Swift number?
the number of streams that Drake,
The previously broken record.
and I can't find it. It only talks about the big story with Look What You Made Me Do was that her first day streams globally was around 8 million. So
Wow. So
Yeah.
then that holds it globally, but Drake has it
just in America.
Okay.
Yep. When it comes to American views. Yeah.
That's what's so hard about breaking
Interesting.
these records. They're so specific now.
Yeah.
That it's like there's all these like little contingencies and stuff like oh, but in America versus worldwide and
Yep.
all that. But
Well, that's
so
and that
interesting.
it's true. Like with album sales, which we were just talking about before, and if you dip back a couple decades, I mean, there was everyone did American album sales, and you would do every other country. Typically, American album sales were a lot higher because it's just a volume thing. But then if you did like worldwide album sales, sometimes there'd be an album, maybe it sells like 2 million albums in America, but then the rest of the world it's like 30 million because somewhere else they're just like wow, they're crazy for it. So it's funny to crunch those numbers and find out the tail of the tape, as they say, that way. That's
true.
I find that very interesting stuff. Not quite to the accountant level with my numbers, but I still find that stuff interesting.
Yep.
No offense to accountants, but y'all are boring.
the God's plan kind of relates to another story that I had. Or I wanted to just bring up or mention was like, so the cover art that Drake had used for that single had been allegedly kind of stolen from a tour poster designed by Colin Fletcher back in 2015 for I don't know the artist, but it's a rabbit. That's the name. It was for his tour, and like it's a very shocking similarity. And I've seen this come up like 3 times within the past like month now. Another case of this was SZA and Kendrick's new video for All the Stars, which is on the Black Panther album. The video contains images that have been claimed to be stolen or heavily influenced by this one artist called Lena Iris Victor. And it's another one of those like striking similarities. Like if you can see this, I'll bring it out. So
Oh, I see.
and we'll post them on if you can add them to the video.
Yep.
That was Drake's artwork,
Yep.
and that was for the tour poster. This is Lena Iris Victor's art right here, and then that's the art that was used in the video for All the Stars. And then
And that's the rabbit.
The latest one is Tekashi 6ix9ine who's like this internet troll, Florida rapper, scream rapper guy. But he has a lot of buzz right now on the internet, so this has kind of caught some attention too. He ripped off this young Tumblr artist, almost like literally just tracing this one character, and it turned into his album art.
Interesting.
And copyright for visual art is actually very similar in the way copyright for music is, like as far as
intellectual property and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like when an artist produces a work of art, the reproduction of the work can only be authorized by the artist unless permission is given to otherwise do so. Conversely, an artist may not substantially copy another copyright owner's work without permission. In either case, the permission should be obtained in writing. So in all of these cases, there was no permission to use the work or be inspired by it or any of that, but they still took it. But they still say it's very difficult to be certain whether a work has been copied enough to be considered infringement.
Yeah.
The same with music. So it's kind of an ongoing thing, but like, why do you think that, like, it's a reoccurring theme that mainstream artists will like look to the underground for inspiration and stuff, but why do you think that they don't just credit the artists or work with these people and bring them up instead of like stealing it? Like, I know it's not Drake that's like, all right, I'm stealing that art. It's not SZA and Kendrick being like, I'm stealing this, but why is it that like these big, like it's a huge team, like could they not just like reach out to them?
Yeah,
And,
that's true.
like it could almost be like a sample, like when you use a sample in a song, you know, like that's what I think this should be kind of like
I think
related to.
I think first, just the sake of bringing it up, maybe it's kind of the complex that we learned about from Timbaland in class, where he talks about, it's like they're sort of like they're defying those people to actually do something about it. It's like, I liked what you did and I'm just going to take it, right? And they really do kind of hold that sort of air a lot of the time with like small potato people.
Yeah, that's true.
Or the way that they view them as small potato people, right? So they're just kind of like, man, like, what are you going to do about it? Like, come at me. Like, like, and truly, I mean, it's sort of an unfortunate circumstance, but the truth is, a legal battle costs a lot of money.
Yep.
It does, because you need, the lawyers don't work for free. I mean, we all know that.
Oh yeah.
So someone who's worth, $50 million can pay a lawyer to work for 4, 5, 6 years on a legal battle. Someone who's got like, they're working 2 or 3 jobs to try and, subsidize their existence, and they do this on the side, where they're going to find a lawyer who's actually going to be able to deal at the same level as that other one, right? Yeah. So, I mean, it happens all the time. I'm not saying yay or nay one side or the other, but it's kind of a numbers thing. So they look at it and they're like, I want that, let's get it. And they know that like it's just simply they can just roll over a lot of the time. Like if it ever gets to the point when a court decides, then it's like, okay, fine, yeah, we'll pay it. Like fine, just deal with it, whatever. But the legal battle itself, most of the time, people give up after a certain amount of time because it just costs so much to just drag it out that long, right?
Yep.
And it is so subjective a lot of the time that it's hard to even tell, yay or nay, is this okay? Like, what are we even looking at here, right?
It's true. It's unfortunate, but yeah, it's just we haven't seen so many examples of it lately. We'll see if that continues, and I wonder if these artists will get their credit.
Compensation.
Okay, let's jump into the song. 2 songs, I guess, for this week.
Tucson or 2 songs?
2 songs.
Ooh, okay. 2 songs from Tucson. Now we're talking.
We're going to be taking a look at both of Kacey Musgraves' lead singles. Her first one being Butterflies, and then the second one being Space Cowboy.
It's a smash, boys and girls.
The 2 singles were announced around the 23rd of February, so just about a week ago. And her full album is planned to be released on the 30th
Of March?
of March. Yeah.
There's no 30th of February, Luke.
So I guess I'll just open up the floor to some general discussion about either one, if there's something you've noticed while listening to them.
Well, I already said earlier, I'll start. I already said earlier that I really like Space Cowboy. I think it's fantastic. So well written. The only thing that I don't like about it, and the thing that sort of stood out a little bit to me like a sore thumb when I was listening to it earlier, was the fact that there are parts in the song where they put little flourishes of, like what we were talking about, the banjo or something. Specifically the banjo, though. Banjo flourishes in the verses, and I was like, when I heard them, I was kind of like, it seemed so forced. It was like, oh, this is a country song with a country artist. We got to put in that instrument. And it was like, it doesn't need that. Like, it's so good without that. And it felt like they sort of like I said, they didn't add anything to it. So why were they there?
Yeah.
To me, it was like, it was almost distracting because it was like so obvious that it was like, we need to put a country instrument into this song
Yeah.
to keep it authentic. And it was like, you don't need to do that, man. Like it was fine without that. It kind of just detracted from it a little bit for me anyways, but I still love it. I just think that was kind of a bit of a production faux pas in my opinion, personally.
I wonder if normal people, quote unquote,
Would have noticed
feel the
that.
same way.
Well, I
'Cause
know.
we're a bit special when it comes to listening to music.
Yeah, that's fair, but I feel like there might have been more of a potential for it to have some crossover success if that wasn't there
Yeah,
as well.
that's true.
Right? So if you don't have that element in there, then people are maybe going to want to play that song on a regular pop station, even though the lyrics are so obviously influenced by a country theme. Without those elements, it's like, okay, well, we can play this on a pop station because it doesn't have any of that stuff. Now you sort of almost take that away.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you limiting yourself? Like Kacey already toured with Katy Perry. I remember when they did that 2 or 3 years ago, Katy Perry and Kacey Musgraves. And so there's already sort of a market that's kind of there, that's burgeoning and waiting. So it's like, if you do something like a song like this and someone who doesn't necessarily like country hears it, they'll be like, oh, yo, I like that. But then maybe you sort of just hamstrung yourself a little bit by artificially sort of forcing that.
I like Space Cowboys more, but I feel like Butterflies lends itself more to pop
Yeah.
as far as like structure, melodies, and sounds. Much more like pop friendly,
Yeah.
I would say.
That's fair.
Space Cowboy, just because it's more like actually like emotional. I felt like more connected to it.
Yep.
Like the Butterflies like stuck with me more.
Yeah.
As far as like melody and the catchiness of it.
It's a pop hook.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of like a very poppy hook.
But Space Cowboys, like I'll remember what it's about more than Butterflies.
Job of balancing between pop music and country music.
Yeah.
She's able to appeal to both. Like
Yeah.
one of our friends of the show, Anella, loves Kacey Musgraves.
It's true.
And one of the things that she said is, "Oh, it's not country though. It's just good music."
I mean, it is.
Yeah,
She's
it's
not wrong.
It's not country music. It's just good music.
It's just good music.
Yep.
That trumps a lot of things, I think. I mean, I've used that myself a lot of times, and I don't necessarily know if I'd put this into a genre. I just like it. It's good music. So that's cool. As I agree with that, I think Kacey is good music. I would personally call her more country than anything else, but she's got some crossover appeal, obviously, right? As we
Yeah,
know,
her voice definitely kind of keeps her in the lane of
country.
I would say. Because where's she from? Probably like
Texas.
Tennessee or something.
Texas.
Something. Yeah.
Texas.
Definitely down south.
She's from Texas.
Definitely
100%.
down south. So like that influence will stay with her anyways. But like, it's better than most like country pop I would listen to. Like it doesn't sound like bro country. Like it still sounds very genuine. And like she's a good songwriter. So
Yep. Her other song, Butterflies, is definitely a lot more pop inspired. And one of the things I want to talk about is the spacing of a pop song. Because when you write a pop song, you usually want it to move pretty quickly from verse to pre-chorus to chorus.
Keep it moving.
But Butterflies actually only has a BPM of 72.
So it
So-
plods a bit, you would think, right?
Yeah. And usually a regular pop track is around 120.
Right. Typical.
But I think what keeps it from dragging is the eighth notes played on the hi-hat, but also the strumming pattern of the guitar. It's a 16th note strumming pattern.
That'll do it.
So it almost feels like the tempo is doubled.
it's almost
Right.
like 140,
Yeah. Yep.
144.
Yep.
What it's like when we've all recorded now, and sometimes you put the click track to double what the actual BPM is, just
Yep.
so you can pick up on the little subtleties, right? So
Yep.
like you do that with a guitar, and it's like it has the same effect. So that's
Exactly.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And this song especially does a really good job of moving through the song quickly. I did a breakdown in just seconds. So I'll
Well, not that kind of breakdown.
just go through the song in seconds. So the first 15 seconds is the intro. And then the first verse is only 13 seconds. The pre-chorus is only 13 seconds, the same length. And then the chorus, the part that you're supposed to remember, is 30 seconds.
So we're at 41 seconds, and
Yeah.
Then the chorus hits. And it's
That's
30
the end
seconds.
of the chorus. The end
No,
of
no,
the
no, no.
Oh, wait.
41 seconds
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the start of the
yeah.
chorus because
Yeah.
it's 2 13s and a 15.
Yeah.
Right? So then, and then a 30-second chorus.
The post-chorus was at 110.
So in a minute and 10 seconds, you can listen to a slice of basically everything you'll hear for the rest of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a pop song right there for sure.
Yeah.
That's totally it.
Yeah, there's a rule that you want to get to the chorus within the first
Take
minute.
it to the, yeah, exactly. Hustle, hustle,
song.
let's go.
Yep.
Yep.
6 second post-chorus with that little instrumental hook. And then the same thing over again. 13, 13, 30. Again. Post-chorus
Going
again.
up the roller coaster
Yeah,
again, right back down.
Banjo solo or
Post-chorus for 10 seconds. And the bridge comes in, which is only 13 seconds again. Same length as the
another
verse.
13, eh? Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool.
Verse and pre-chorus. And then it does the false chorus is what I call it. It plays the first maybe 2 lines of the chorus, but without the everything's down low, and then it comes back in.
Crank
for
it
the-
back up.
for the last bit of the chorus. And then outro is, or post-chorus for the last chorus is 10 seconds again. And then the outro is 13 seconds again.
Cool. So
Everything's
it's hustled
very...
along. It's very rigidly cut.
Yeah, symmetrical.
It's cut and dried, very like spaced. That's interesting that it follows that. I mean, not really surprising, but it's kind of cool that it follows that rigid of a formula to a degree. How do you guys feel about false choruses? I think I wanted to ask that question when you brought that up. Like typically, because I find that most of the time when I hear them, I kind of like them. As you said,
Yeah.
false choruses, right?
Yeah.
I usually like that as a production technique, personally.
Yep.
Do you guys like them?
Yeah, I think it's cool. Especially like on the last chorus, we have a false chorus, and then it kind of makes it more satisfying when like the full chorus sort of comes in. It makes it more impactful.
Yep.
I like them.
How's it on the charts right now?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
She hasn't really done as well on country charts the last little while. I know her last album didn't do as good as like people had hoped that it would. Chart
I'm looking
positions.
for it, but
What's number 1 right now? There we go.
number 1? Okay, on the Billboard Hot 100 songs, number 1 is God's Plan.
Okay, no, I meant the Hot 100 country. I'm talking about the Hot 100 country charts. It's all good, but yeah, I meant the country charts. God's Plan. Of course, God's Plan is number 1 right now.
Oh my gosh. Of course it would be this one. It's Meant to Be by
Florida Line BB Riggs.
Yeah.
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 That one's been out for a while now, though.
Yep.
Space Cowboys 14.
Is it? Did I miss
14
it?
on the chart. Yeah. The number 1 on that one is Tequila, so it's a different chart list.
Oh,
Tequila by Dan and Shay.
Yep.
So you have a different chart list.
Yours might be sales on iTunes or downloads.
It might be a download chart, yeah, something
Oh,
like that.
I thought
If
this
it
was-
is Apple.
It would make sense if that one was a download one too, because Space Cowboy being at number 14, because it kind of just came out, makes a lot of sense, right?
At least on Billboard. None of her songs are in the top
100?
60.
Oh, not the top. Okay, well, that's fine then. That's odd. Wow. She's not even charting in the top 60 with those 2 singles? Wow, this is a travesty. What's wrong? Those are good songs. Alrighty, next topic. What are we talking about next?
We're talking about a game.
we have the
Talking about
game. Oh, boy.
game time.
Yeah. Yep.
Here we go.
I call this game Redneck Translator.
Oh,
I will.
Owen's light just flashed before his eyes.
Country is known for its
Slang.
colorful language and slang, not
yeah.
swears, but
Not swears?
slang.
Slang, not
Yeah.
swears.
So I will give
don't
you
swear in the
one
country.
of these slang words, and you will translate them into normal English
Okay.
as
Heck yeah.
closely as you can, or you can just guess. If you don't really know what it is, just take a stab at
Lob
it.
a guess out there.
Yep. If you don't get it, the other person can steal.
Steal.
For
Okay.
a half point.
Got it.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Who's going first?
Who wants to go first?
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors.
You're up.
Owen won that.
All right, I
The-
go first.
Rock.
I got rock.
Classic
Always rock. The classic.
Yep.
I got rock.
Okay. Number 1.
Rocked your world.
Rocked your world. I rocked your country world. All right.
Rubberneck. It is a verb.
Means checking a girl out. Or no. Yeah. Rubberneck is like you're looking. Whenever I've heard rubberneck, that term, it means like someone's like on a beach just rubbernecking.
Technically, your definition is wrong based on this, but I feel like you're pretty. I think I'll give it to you because the more general definition is
What's
correct.
the actual redneck definition?
Right here off the website I got, the definition is to drive slow and look at take a good look at a car wreck.
So
But you could
basically
also
amounts to the same
you
thing.
could do the same thing with a girl.
Yeah.
You could slow down a little bit
And then
as
you're
you're walking
looking,
by, and
right?
yeah. I think I'll give that to Owen. You
We'll put an asterisk
Okay.
beside it.
yeah.
Okay, thanks,
that's,
guys.
That's a good point. Okay, number 2, ornery.
Ornery?
Yeah.
Ornery. Okay, there were a couple things that popped in. I think the actual redneck definition, though,
Never
of
heard
ornery
that word.
would be,
It's an adjective.
isn't it kind of like, sort of like surly and kind of grumpy, kind of rugged, like rough around the edges? You're like, grrr,
Yep.
kind of a thing. Okay.
Yep. Difficult to deal with.
Right. Ornery.
Usually it's used to describe a bull.
A bull, an ornery bull. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Number 3 for Owen, rangy. Rangy. That's also a adjective.
Rangy. Also known as the first part of the word rangitang. It's a rangitang.
Yeah, first I was gonna say like a phone call, like rangy.
Rangy.
We got a rangy.
Rangy. Granny's rangy.
That's man. I feel like it stems from the word. Oh, I was gonna say wrangle.
It's an adjective.
So it's not a verb. Yeah.
Yeah, it's used
Well,
To describe
something.
something.
Yep.
I'll just say
If I
means
said-
something crazy or
Nice.
or-
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah,
Rangy.
really?
Yep.
All right.
That was a good guess. Full of energy or wild. Also used to describe a bull.
a bull. A rangy. Wow.
Yep.
Lots of bull stuff going on here.
Yep. I hadn't heard that word at all until like a year ago when I started dating Rebecca.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So
Does
what?
so has she used it just in a casual conversation then?
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is authentic redneck
Yes.
slang then. Okay.
I'm not saying she's a redneck, but
Well, okay. Sorry. No. I'm not. I didn't mean that.
authentic.
I just meant there was like actually a word that's in common
yeah.
usage.
Yep.
More than anything.
Okay.
I'm a redneck.
Good save, buddy.
Kick save and a beauty.
It's 2-1.
Sorry, Rebecca.
2-1 for Owen right now. Word number 4 for Luke. High cotton. It's an adjective. If someone is high cotton, what are they?
Wouldn't that? I don't particularly know. I'm not fully familiar with that one, but to me, it sounds like kind of thing that would describe. It's like highfalutin, like someone who's kind of like they live a little bit higher up on the food chain than other people.
Yep,
right?
that's
High
correct.
cotton.
Someone who's wealthy or also snobby.
Snobby, right? I was thinking more snobby than wealthy. Wealthy also describes kind of what I was saying though.
Yep.
High
And I also-
cloth.
Cotton.
Cotton.
High
Oh,
cotton.
I also managed to slip on different kind of. Did you hear the highfalutin? It's like who knows what
Yeah.
that means, but like you knew, anyway, you knew what I meant.
Yep.
Highfalutin.
Okay. Number 5.
2-2.
Yes, this is a saying. If I had my druthers.
If I had my druthers.
If I had my druthers. It's a saying.
What if you had your brother's druthers? Or your mother's druthers? I don't know.
I think it means if I had a weapon, maybe.
No. Translated, it means if I had it my
What
way.
about? Oh, not gonna
I
let me
had it.
steal.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good. I was waiting for the steal, but I was like, I didn't know what it was. That's fine.
My
If I had
bad.
my way,
What's it mean?
If I had it my way.
if I had it my
If I
way.
had my
druthers.
druthers. What the heck? Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that one. I don't think.
Okay. Number 6. An Arkansas toothpick. What is an Arkansas toothpick? It's a noun.
Arkansas. Yeah. It's oh, what are they called? A bayonet?
No.
No. Yeah.
It's just a knife.
Just okay. Well, a bayonet is a knife
Well,
because you can take them off, right?
I know,
And
but it's
people
like-
use them.
Don't give it to him.
no, it's a gun. It's a gun. A bayonet is a gun.
Bayonet? No, it's not a gun.
Yeah, it is.
It's the knife on the end of a gun. Fixed bayonets in charge?
Aren't bayonets the guns with the knives?
No, because you have to fix them. You have to put the knives on. Fixed bayonets in charge. That's why that saying exists. And if you watch footage from World War I, you'll see a lot of the times before soldiers will charge across the line that they would actually put the bayonets on their guns, fasten them on with the bolt, and then they would charge.
Okay, I will.
Some of them had them hard fixed, but a lot of the time they weren't. It was actually a thing you could put your bayonet beside you, in the sheath on your belt, and then you would pull it out and put it on your gun.
I've just looked up the definition, and I think you might be technically right. It says a bayonet is a bladed weapon similar to a knife or a short sword, or a spike-shaped weapon designed to fit in, on, over, or underneath the muzzle of a rifle.
Because typically a bayonet is longer than a knife, because you want to be able to have a little bit of extra reach with it, but you have to put it on the gun. Yeah.
The more you know, I guess. A bayonet is not a gun with a knife. It is just
A knife.
a knife. I guess, yeah.
It's like a katana, right? Like it's a different kind of a knife.
So with that, Luke takes the lead. 3-2.
3-2.
Okay.
With an asterisk, apparently.
Word number 7. I will try not to give away the answer so quickly, so the other person can steal.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Cattywampus. It is a adjective. If someone is cattywampus, what are they?
Oh my gosh.
Or if something is cattywampus. This room could be cattywampus.
It's an adjective, so it could describe anything.
It's like maybe a fun time.
No. It means crazy or off-center. A little bit. Cattywampus.
I guess wampus alone.
You're not gonna let me steal, eh?
Oh, no!
You just won't let me. No.
Did you know that one?
I was gonna say crazy. Actually, I was gonna guess, but it's
I think
okay.
he knows it. So
I never. But I was like
Okay.
cattywampus.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I was gonna
Give
say
him the
crazy.
half point.
I was gonna
Dang
lob
it.
a crazy up there. Crazy, Willie Nelson. Anyways,
Okay. 3.5 to 2. I believe the score
well, the
is.
steal is worth half.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yep.
3.5 to 2.
Okay. Number 8. Fit to be tied.
Fit. Okay, that means you're really angry.
Yes.
Fit to be tied.
Yep.
Yeah. That one. I've used that one a lot. Yeah.
Very angry.
Fit to be tied.
Yeah. Like
I'm fit to be tied. I don't know. I'm so out of touch with this.
number 9. Goobers. It's a noun. What is a goober?
Like Goofy Goober from SpongeBob.
Not quite.
Okay. These are just total shots in the dark. A goober is it's a noun?
Yes. It's a food.
It's a food?
Yes.
Peanut.
Wow. Why did you guess peanut?
Because Goofy Goober from SpongeBob,
SpongeBob.
they're peanuts.
Are they peanuts?
Yeah.
Wow.
Goofy goobers.
I feel like I shouldn't have given you that hint now. I thought you were farther away. Yeah, it's a peanut. I had no clue what a goober was.
Also, it was an item. Okay, I thought first I was gonna guess. If I was gonna guess, it doesn't matter. I was gonna guess like a booger.
Yeah.
I was thinking
that's
that too.
also
Right?
another-
Just flip
yeah, word for
letters.
Okay. 3 to 3.5 for Luke. Going into question number 10.
No, 4.5.
Yeah,
Fit to
4.5.
be tied. You
Yep.
said 3.5
Did I?
to 3. Yeah. So I'm just semantics. Anyways, keep going.
Okay.
Let's go.
Grab a root.
Grab a
It's a saying. To grab a root.
root.
does that mean?
ROOT or
Yes,
ROUTE.
yeah,
Okay.
like a-
ROOT. Grab a root.
Like the plant.
Oh, there's two different things I can think. I'm gonna go with eat your veggies.
I'm not sure. I guess Owen and I will decide if you get the point. It means to have dinner. So do you think that counts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat
I'll
your
say that
veggies.
because, like, yeah, that's just like a more.
Yeah.
He almost was more specific.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I give it
Yep. To grab a root means to eat dinner.
The other thing I was thinking was like sit on the ground. Like, grab
Yep.
a root, pull up a root type
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
That's what I would have guessed.
Yeah.
I thought it was something to do with that.
So coming into the last 4, Owen needs
A miracle.
he needs to either you're down by 1.5 right now. So you either need maybe 2.5. So you need a couple steals here.
He does.
Okay.
It's fever.
Number 11, horse sense. It's an adjective. Also a saying.
They're very aware of their surroundings and what's behind them. Because when I think of horse
do you wanna
sense, I think
give a
it's
guess,
when you-
Luke?
When you walk behind someone and they kick you.
I'm not saying that is or isn't correct, but
First thing that my mind jumped to was there was a plaque on my grandparents' wall. This is like 100 years ago. And it just said, horse sense is what a horse has that prevents it from betting on people. Horse sense is common sense. Is it not? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, common sense? Oh, okay.
it's used to describe someone that's very smart. They have horse sense.
Yeah, it's like a horse trader. They have horse sense. Similar kind of thing, right? There's a similar kind of thing.
I feel like being aware of your surroundings would.
No, he got it.
Okay. Okay.
He was more right because
Yeah.
I was thinking more like horse sense as in like don't walk behind a horse like type thing.
Yeah.
Like be aware, but you said like be aware of your surroundings as well. And then, although if you are aware of your surroundings, if you decide to not walk behind a horse, that's a very good point.
that
That's
is
kind
also
of a common
smart.
sense thing to do. Is like
Yeah.
just don't piss in the wind, don't walk behind a horse, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so
We'll give that to Owen.
We're gonna give him the old dingaroo.
Yeah.
for competition's sake.
No, you got that.
All right.
You got that.
All right.
It's 4.5 to
It's a bit vague, but let's go.
4.5 to
4.5 to 3 now. Because he was down by 2.5 a second ago. Unless it's 5.5.
Would it be 2.5 now?
5.5 to 4.
Maybe 5. Whatever.
You can
The score
look at the
doesn't
score
matter.
later on once you're doing
Yeah.
that. He's down by 1.5.
Number 12. Tump.
Tump?
It's a verb.
T-U-M-P.
Yes.
Tump.
Tump.
Tumping is a thing then, clearly. Okay, tumping. I'm going to say, this is a total guess. I really don't know. I'm going to just guess shoveling. Like digging.
Owen, do you want to take a guess?
Tump, a terrible president.
Wow. That was a good one.
I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
Tump means to tip over by accident. So if
Oh.
you tump something, you've spilt it.
Okay.
Or tipped it over. Or if you've tumped the boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never
I've
heard
tumped
that.
it. Yeah, me neither.
Never
it?
ever
Yeah.
heard that.
To tip over by accident.
Tip over by accident.
Tump it.
I thought maybe it was something to do with like cow tipping or something. I actually did, but I tried to be funny
Tipping
instead.
cows.
Last two. Walking on a slant. What does that mean, Owen? It's a saying.
I think it means you're drunk.
Yep. It's true.
Really?
Yep.
Man.
Walking on
The
a
drunken
slant.
sailor move.
Yeah,
So I'm only up by half a point now. Owen has a chance to tie it up if he can steal here.
I think so.
Yeah, we're pretty sure.
Oh, all right.
So yeah,
Pretty sure.
Okay.
That's of course assuming that I get this wrong.
it's a
which is
saying.
unlikely.
That's the badger.
That's the badger.
It's a saying. Someone says to you, "That's the badger."
And I'm like, that's the badger. It's kind of like, c'est la vie, like that's the badger. Like, well, that's life type of a thing.
Owen,
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Like, oh, that's the negative of whatever you're
just
talking
guess
about.
guess something else, because he already did. So
This is your chance to steal. Kai wants this game to be competitive.
Well,
That's the badger.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, that's the negative part of. I can't.
Okay.
That's the negative
You are
side of
both
whatever.
wrong.
Both wrong.
It's pretty much the exact opposite. It's that's exactly what I was looking for, or that's exactly what I was thinking.
Really?
Like, so if
That's the
someone like
badger.
brings you water when you're really thirsty, it's like, yep, that's the badger.
that's the
Or
badger.
if someone agrees with you,
Did you?
Wow.
Okay. Does
Okay.
this website say like where these terms are kind of typically used? I feel like some
I
of
think
these
they're
are.
very regional.
Well,
Yeah.
some of them I think must be a little bit more
Probably.
regional, like because I know that that's a thing, right?
Yeah.
People will regional. Does it say or not?
no, it just said southern.
I won by half a point, apparently.
Yeah.
Half a point.
Asterisks
Maybe
included.
more, maybe
We'll
less.
see.
Who knows?
That's
The
steel.
tape will tell.
Yep.
Good game, Owen.
Yep.
1-1 now. Oh, leaving me hanging.
Oh yeah. Sorry. We're all tied up now, boy. All tied up.
1-1.
Yeah.
We need a rubber match at some point. So I'll need to have me on the show again at some
Yep.
point.
Yeah. We always end the show off with music recommendations. So we
Okay.
can recommend a song or an album or an artist
Owen,
that we've.
give us an
really
album
liked.
or an artist or something.
An EP that was released last week, I believe. Charlotte Day Wilson's "Stone Woman." She's a singer-songwriter from Toronto. Works with the likes of Bad Bad Not Good, Daniel Caesar, my favorites. And yeah, she put out a solo project, and it's really sweet.
Sweet.
Some nice atmospheric, smooth. She's actually really hurting. Neo soul, and it's
Okay.
cool. I like the title track "Stone Woman" and "Nothing New." Those are my favorites right now.
Yep.
Nice. I'm gonna go a bit of all three actually because we were playing it earlier. I'm gonna say artist, album, and then single. Artist, Kip Moore.
Yep.
If you haven't checked him out, give him a listen. It's not typically not typically. officially he falls under the country, but he's not always country. It's not at all. He's a really cool guy. There's a huge story. Look it up. That's the artist. Album, Slow Heart. His newest one just came out like late last year, like probably September, October. Slow Heart. So good. And then the actual song specifically off of that album to check out, in my opinion, is, well, you played Sunburn earlier, which is really good. The other really good one, if you're looking for kind of a rocky tune that'll get you going, is Fast Women. So good. Kip Moore, for sure. Kip Moore, Slow Heart, Fast Women. Check it out. So good. Not just country. If you like rock, you'll like that guy. Yeah. For sure. He's got a lot of Southern rock and some just kind of like easy listening stuff as well. Just give it a chance. Yep. Really good. Highly recommend it.
Yep. And my recommendation for this week is someone that Owen and I have talked about a little bit, Maggie Rogers.
Oh, yeah.
She got some fame off of a video of her performing in front of Pharrell for, I think it was part of
it was like a master class. She was she was at some music school in New York, and Pharrell was like a guest lecturer
Juilliard?
Or something like that.
Was it Juilliard?
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
That kind of sounds like it might have been it.
Because Juilliard's in New York. That's where Lady Gaga went. Anyway, sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, and basically like that clip kind of went viral because like it almost made like Pharrell cry at one point. Like he's like looking at the camera with like a little sparkle in his eye and stuff. And yeah, she's been hard at work. And what's the name of the EP again?
Now that the light is fading. Now that the light is fading. It was released, February of last year.
February 17. Okay.
Yeah. And she also has a newer single that I think's released this year, maybe a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Same style of music.
Maggie Rogers.
It's hard to.
It's like folk inspired dance. Like.
Yeah, it's definitely electronic, laid back, very new, I guess.
Yeah. She's really cool. She has a cool story. She has a really good performance on the NPR's Tiny Desk. That you should check out as well too. So. She's good. I can see her doing big things. She's almost like a more folk-inspired Lord or something like that.
Yeah,
that's what I would kind of compare it to.
Yep.
Folk-inspired Lord.
Yeah, and I think that'll do it for
Good Lord
this week.
Cool.
Luke, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, as always.
Thanks, buddy.
Always a pleasure.
Awesome.
We'll see you next week.
Peace out, guys.